Good morning, YouTube. It's Saturday, the 7th of March, 2020. We're ready for some weekend action on Bitcoin. And at the end of the video, I'm going to explain how our bull market watch came to be so that we could tell which are the best altcoins to be getting into at this stage. So be sure to watch through to the 6-minute mark so you get those tips on the altcoins right after we go through the standard Bitcoin indicators. As you may know, we've been watching the weekly RSI for a long time for this trend line and specifically tuned in to the angle of this tip. If this stays pointed positive, we're okay. This is bullish. If it eases off the next couple days, it is more bearish, but this is a continuation of the bull market setup right here with this RSI. I want to zoom in on the time frames to verify how this is turning out because we still are not really giving in the 1, 2, 3 formation that is strong enough for me yet. And a pullback here would be great, actually. It would be really good for setting and confirming the bull market. That means that the RSI would be pulling back to these levels before picking itself up without wrecking our weekly RSI setup. Let's jump into the 12-hour because this is where we could get a gap set up over the weekend so that when we have the opening on the futures market, we would have a big move. So to track this move, we need to see this RSI breaking one level or the other as we're moving ahead now. If I move into the 4-hour time frame, it gets more clear. It's actually edging just a little bit positive as we're setting up here. We'll see if this continues up from this 1, 2, 3 pattern that we're sitting right above, holding. If this RSI starts to crack up to the positive, we're on our way. And I like this 1-hour time frame. I was pointing this out in our Discord channel. As we see the 1-hour relative strength index make this oscillation, it is right where the prices break out. So if the RSI is breaking above these levels and we're getting confirmation from our other indicator sets, this would be a really bullish confirmation as this moves. Right from these levels, we're going to be able to tell which way we're going right there. Now let's jump into the on balance volume. We're still trickling in. This is a concern for me on all of these charts all the way along. I'm waiting for the big volume to come in. We really haven't seen it recently. There was a really great comment under the video the other day. Somebody made a comment about the volume saying that maybe the volume isn't here on Bitstamp relative to the past because we have so many different exchanges. Maybe overall the volume is still picking up, but just on Bitstamp or any one exchange, it's not as big because the business is spread across more different exchanges. So if you know of a place where I could find the total trading volume of Bitcoin that would be a better indicator for this, let me know. Put that in the comments down below and I'll see if I'll pull that up for the next video. Now, if I zoom in on this on the daily and on the 12-hour, what I'm zooming in on here now to look for are these changes of trend. So if we have a change of trend of volume, I want to pay attention to it, up or down. I want to pay attention to it, especially as we zoom into the closer time frames. It lets me sort of peek into what's going on right now. This is better volume. It is less dumping and more buying here as we've gone through this process. So if this flips to negative as we are testing the bottom with the relative strength index giving us the confirmation, right? This is easing off as we're going through this sideways channel. We have 1, 2, 3 touches of death. So even though this is an ascending wedge, many times that 3 touches of death is not, if it doesn't make it on the 3rd attempt, it's usually not good. So we could get that pullback to create a bigger 1, 2, 3 pattern here, and that would be all good. If we came back to retest these levels and held, that would be super bullish. A break above this level is super bullish too because we're holding above the support level. Now let's go into the next indicator. On the MACD indicator, it's weakening off but not crossing on the weekly. On the daily time frame, it had weakened off and now we've come back to almost crossing to the positive. This is something I've been watching for several videos ago. We talked about how the daily will oscillate on the uptrend. It will oscillate. And what we're looking for is that cross to the positive there with our breakout to be really confirming. So that looks great at this time frame. Now let's zoom into the 12-hour. Has already crossed in the middle of this 1, 2, 3 formation that we see here. This cross happens between the number 1 point and the number 3 point. This is really bullish unless we cross back to the negative. Let's zoom into the closer time frames and see what they're telling us. The 4-hour is pressing really making it. So if we're going to the negative histogram here, that is the sign that we've crossed to the negative here on the 4 hour. Let's go see what the 1 hour is doing, because this is really down to the point of the wire. So here, the 1 hour is, we were looking at the RSI being oscillating and then crossing positive. And here the MACD is doing much the same thing. At the very same times that we crossed, this 1 hour MACD is oscillating wonderfully. So that gives us the point that if this crosses positive and we get this histogram going back green as we're breaking above here, that's a confirmation. Along with the RSI, the MACD will confirm for us. How about the Ichimoku? Here we are on the weekly view bouncing off the bottom of the green cloud, still a twist to the negative. I don't know. We'll go into the daily time frame. This is twisted to the negative. That's a cross to the negative. This is cut through everything. This is all still bearish on the daily. I really respect the Ichimoku. This is bearish on the 12-hour time frame too. We don't have a positive cloud. We are not crossed to the positive. The trailing indicator has cut through everything. This is still bearish. Now, while the 4 hour is giving us some bullish indicators, it's crossed through, this is crossed positive, we are nearing the top of the cloud, we are twisted positive. It's like 3 of the 4 things you need for a bullish setup. And we don't have the 4th one to come through the cloud and maintain this. So should this come up through the cloud, then we can expect that the 12-hour Ichimoku is going to start to come, but not yet. The 12 and the daily are still bearish. So let's go to the 1 hour and zoom in on this. We have come up through the cloud. We're up above the cloud here. So long as we don't twist negative and the blue stays up above the red here, then we're okay. But as we start poking into the cloud and the blue crossing the red and this twist is negative, that's getting more bearish. The weekly Bollinger Bands is positive. This is bullish. So long as we stay above this midline on the weekly Bollinger Band, we are in the bull trend. Every time we stay above it, we're in the bull trend. And we have to go back to the past to see better how this works. And because I know and we know that we were in the green cloud in the past and we came back through the green cloud down, I'm watching to see if we cross below this midline on the Bollinger Bands at the current time. So if we pull this back forward, we're okay, we're up above it, but we need to stay above it and start getting some support. So let's zoom into the closer time frames to see what they're doing, because the daily needs to get up above its 21 period moving average here. The 12-hour has dipped below this 200 period exponential moving average and is sort of hovering sideways. And while we have no real answer here, we did get mean reversions on the 12-hour right at this point. I want to circle, because as we zoom into the 4-hour time frame, it was also mean reversion time through the 4-hour, and we're building up off of that. We still have this 1, 2, 3 bottom contention that we're holding up above. So these are potentially bullish setups here. In the 1-hour time frame, it is really narrowing down, and the narrower band means that there's likely to be a bigger move coming out of this. And now I want to talk a little bit about the history of the bull market watch. If you go over to the website, you can see that we have these pie charts that show that 81 markets are in alert status right now on Binance, and 10 of them are new just today. We have 21 markets that are in hold status, and 4 of those are new just today. So we can see that things were bigger into neutral the other day, and now we are moving back into a much more bullish stance in all of the coins. And I get the question, how do I narrow down from this list which ones I should be holding? And overall, we're in a bull market, and that means that the best of the cryptocurrencies are going to be moving first, and the slower cryptocurrencies or lazier projects or projects that aren't working out, they may not be moving as fast, though they may still go up. So this is our short list of the best of the coins right now. And we can see this short list changes from day to day as we're adding on to the different cryptocurrencies. And the whole system is built to be a trend following system. We've got history back from March to July of 2017 in that big bull market. And you can see some of the amazing gains that we had in this bull market. We mapped out what happened in the December to January bull market and the April to May of 2018 bull market. Using this very same system, you can see that in each bull market, they were a little bit less strong, and the system got us out of that before things got bad, before we turned into a bag holder on this time. This was really fantastic. And the system is important that you don't jump in and out of a trade. Here's an example of Ethereum where it went up 754% from our entry, And until the 12-hour exponential moving average is crossed, we stayed in the trade all the way along here. I think it's an error of most trading systems to get you in and then get you out and then get you in and then get you out and then get you in. It is crazy. It takes so much work. The easier, lazier way to trade actually is easier, takes less time, and has the potential to make some phenomenal gains. Here is what we did in December to May of 2019. So these are results that we got where in February, we had 32 trades, 21 were winners. The average winner was 45%, the average loser was 11%, for an average of 25% per trade. And you can see over the total from December to March, when things topped out, we made a total of, adding things up, over 1,000% profit. Now, this got us out of the trades in April when everything topped out and Bitcoin dominance started to rise. And so now we're in a position where you can see we had a big bit of a bull run and things have pulled back. Now we're back into alert status according to this trade. But there's been some phenomenal gains in these that the bull market watch will tell you when to get in and out. But the pro alerts are going to give you the real details on the percentage gains, exactly when to get in, when to get out, and which trading system we're using. Again, all of this stuff is to build a position and a portfolio for the bull market, and we don't want to be jumping in and out of these trades. In fact, we wouldn't realize gains like this if we had been trying to jump in and out of this trade. If that kind of approach is interesting to you, come and check out the Bull Market Watch, get familiar with everything here, find out how this color-coded system works, go through it, take the training, and learn everything that you can. Get these daily email summaries sent to you so that you can quickly go through the list and find out which coins you should be holding. Easily worth the subscription fee just to find out which things you should be getting into, but most importantly, when to get out of them so that you protect your profits. And now, in review for Bitcoin prices, it's all down to this triangle right now, and we've got it mapped out where we can see the details on the relative strength index. We can see exactly what's going to go on with the MACD indicator here, that if we're flaring wider as we're breaking lower here, that's going to be bearish. We can see that on the Ichimoku cloud, a very little break down below these levels turns us into a bearish stance, and we can see from the Bollinger Bands we're actually expecting a pretty big move to come out of this. Super grateful to have you guys along. Good luck in all of your Bitcoin and altcoin trading. I'll see you over on our Discord group. Ciao for now.